My fiancée told me she needed space to figure out who she was without me, then blocked me on everything for a weekend retreat. Her coworker sent me a screen recording of her close friends. She was standing on the edge of a yacht, arms wrapped around some guy, with the caption, "Finally being treated how I deserve." I didn't say a word when she got back. I welcomed her with love, hugged her like nothing happened, and cooked her favorite dinner. The next morning, she woke up alone, with a file of printed screenshots on next to her and a final rent notice on the counter. 5 days later, she was kicked out. And now she's begging me to take her back. This is a throwaway account for obvious reasons. I never thought I'd be sharing something like this online, but I need to get this off my chest, and maybe someone out there will learn from my experience. Lisa and I had been together for 4 years. We met during our senior year of college at a mutual friend's party. She was studying marketing, and I was finishing up my computer engineering degree. We clicked immediately. She was vibrant, ambitious, and had this infectious laugh that could light up a room. Within 6 months of dating, we knew we wanted to build a life together. After graduation, I landed a good job at a tech company, and she found work at a marketing agency. 2 years into our relationship, I proposed. We were on a weekend getaway to the mountains when I got down on one knee at sunset, overlooking the valley below. She cried tears of joy, and I thought my life couldn't get any better. We decided on a longer engagement to save money for both the wedding and a down payment on a house. When we moved in together, I'd already purchased the condo we lived in. My grandfather had left me a generous inheritance, which I used as a down payment. Lisa's name wasn't on the mortgage or deed, but we agreed she would contribute to monthly expenses in proportion to our incomes, which meant I covered about 70% of everything while she handled 30%. For the first 3 years, everything was great. Sure, we had our arguments like any couple, but we always communicated and worked through our issues. Lisa got promoted at her agency, which meant longer hours but also a significant salary increase. She started hanging out more with her coworkers, which I encouraged. I wanted her to have her own social circle and interests outside our relationship. But about 6 months ago, things began to change. She became more distant, always on her phone, laughing at messages but becoming guarded when I'd walk by. She started working later, and our weekend plans together became fewer. When I tried talking to her about it, she would just say she was stressed about work or tired. Then, about a month ago, we had dinner at our favorite Italian restaurant to celebrate her recent successful client pitch. I thought it would be a nice night together, but she seemed distracted the entire time. When we got home, she dropped the bomb. "I need some space," she said, sitting on the edge of our couch, not making eye contact. "I need to figure out who I am without you." I was stunned. "What do you mean? Are you breaking up with me?" No, not breaking up," she said quickly. "I just need a weekend away. With myself. To think." She explained that she'd booked a personal retreat at a wellness center a few hours away. She would leave Friday after work and be back Sunday evening. She needed this time alone, she said, to reconnect with herself and evaluate what she wanted from life. I was hurt but tried to be understanding. If she needed space, I would give her that. I told her I loved her and would support whatever she needed. She hugged me and thanked me for understanding. That Friday, she packed an overnight bag, kissed me goodbye, and left. Within an hour, I noticed she had blocked me on all social media platforms. I tried calling, but it went straight to voicemail. I texted, but the messages remained undelivered. I was confused and worried. If this was a personal retreat, why cut off all communication? Saturday evening, around 8 p.m., I received a message from Ryan, one of Lisa's coworkers. We'd met a few times at company events and had exchanged numbers once when planning a surprise birthday party for Lisa last year. "Hey man, I think you should see this," his message read, followed by a screen recording. The recording showed someone scrolling through Instagram, opening Lisa's profile, and accessing her close friend's story, something I didn't have access to since she'd blocked me. There she was, standing on the edge of a yacht, wearing a bikini I'd never seen before, with her arms wrapped around some guy I didn't recognize. The caption read, "Finally being treated how I deserve. Hashtag living my best life." My stomach dropped. The timestamp showed it had been posted just 2 hours earlier. The wellness retreat was clearly a lie. She was on a yacht with another man while I sat at home worrying about her finding herself. Ryan followed up with another message, "I'm sorry, but I thought you should know. This guy is Alan from the client company she's been working with. They've been flirting at meetings for months. Everyone at the office has noticed, but no one wanted to tell you." I didn't respond to Ryan immediately. I was in shock. I spent the night pacing our apartment, looking at old photos, trying to pinpoint when things had changed. By Sunday morning, anger had replaced shock. I considered confronting her as soon as she walked through the door, showing her the recording, demanding answers. But then I realized that wouldn't accomplish anything. Instead, I decided to play it cool. I would gather more information, make a plan, and ensure I protected myself. I thanked Ryan for letting me know and asked if he could keep me updated if he saw anything else. Sunday evening, right on schedule, Lisa returned. She looked refreshed, with a slight tan that hadn't been there when she left, not something you'd get from a weekend at an indoor wellness center. "Hey babe," I said, greeting her with a warm hug as if nothing was wrong. "How was your retreat?" "Amazing," she gushed. "So peaceful and clarifying. I really needed that time to myself." "I'm glad," I said, smiling. You look great. Rested. The center had this incredible solarium, she explained quickly. I spent some time meditating there. Lie after lie. I just nodded. I missed you, she said, kissing me on the cheek. And I've made some decisions about our future. Oh? I raised an eyebrow, curious about what fabrication would come next. I think we should move forward with wedding planning. I'm ready now. I just needed that time to be sure. It took everything in me not to laugh in her face. Instead, I nodded enthusiastically. That's great news. I'm so happy to hear that. Are you hungry? I asked. I thought I'd cook your favorite dinner to welcome you home. Her face lit up. Chicken marsala? You're the best. As I cooked, she unpacked and showered. We ate dinner together, and she talked more about her retreat, making up details about meditation sessions and wellness workshops. I pretended to believe every word, asking questions, feigning interest. After dinner, we watched a movie, and when she initiated cuddling, I politely rejected and told her I was just exhausted from working all day and just wanted to go sleep. She didn't suspect a thing. The next morning, I woke up early. I had already taken the day off work under the pretense of wanting to spend time with Lisa after her retreat. But I had other plans. After confirming she was still asleep, I slipped out of bed and began executing what I had planned during those long, sleepless hours of Saturday night. First, I gathered all the evidence, screenshots of Ryan's messages, the screen recording of her Instagram story, screenshots of her blocked profile on my social media accounts, and bank statements showing a charge to a luxury boat charter company, not a wellness retreat, that I'd found when checking our joint account. I printed everything, organized it in a neat file, and placed it on my pillow where she would find it when she woke up. Next, I printed out a 30-day notice to vacate. As the sole owner of the condo, I had every right to evict her. I left this on the kitchen counter with a note that simply read, I expect you to be gone in 30 days. The rent for this final month has been paid from our joint account. Then I went to the bank and closed our joint checking account, transferring my portion to my personal account and leaving her portion in a cashier's check that I left next to the eviction notice. Finally, I packed a bag with essentials and drove to my brother's house across town. I had already called him the day before to explain the situation, and he had offered me his guest room for as long as I needed. At 9:30 a.m., my phone exploded with notifications. Lisa was calling, texting, emailing. Suddenly, I was unblocked from everything. I ignored all of it. By noon, she had called 27 times and sent over 50 text messages, ranging from confusion to anger to pleading. What is this? Let me explain. It's not what it looks like. Please come home so we can talk. You're overreacting. Alan is just a client. This isn't fair. I didn't respond to any of them. By evening, she had shown up at my brother's place, not surprising, as she'd met him many times. My brother, loyal as always, told her I wasn't there, I was hiding in the guest room, and that she should respect my wishes for space. The next day, I contacted a lawyer to ensure that the eviction was legal and that I had covered all my bases. I also changed the locks on my condo, leaving a key with the building manager for Lisa to access during reasonable hours to collect her things within the 30-day period. For 5 days, I maintained complete silence while Lisa bombarded me with messages. She cycled through every emotion, denial, anger, bargaining, and finally, desperation. On day 6, I finally sent her a single text, I'll be at the condo tomorrow at 2 p.m. We can talk then. When I arrived at the condo the next day, I found Lisa sitting on the couch, eyes red from crying. The place was a mess, clearly, she had been having a rough time. Good. Thank you for coming, she said, her voice small. I sat across from her, maintaining physical distance. Say what you need to say. What followed was a tearful confession mixed with attempts at justification. Yes, she had been on a yacht with Alan. No, they hadn't slept together. Yeah, right. It was just a weekend getaway between friends. She had been feeling unappreciated and taken for granted. Alan had been pursuing her for months, making her feel desired in a way that I apparently didn't anymore. Our relationship had become so routine, she cried. I just wanted to feel excitement again. So you lied and cheated instead of talking to me? I asked calmly. I didn't cheat, she insisted. Nothing happened. I pulled out my phone and showed her another photo Ryan had sent me, Lisa and Alan kissing on the yacht. Her face crumpled. Okay, we kissed. Once. It was a mistake. I realized immediately that I loved you and wanted to be with you. That's why I came back ready to plan our wedding. I just stared at her, unmoved by the tears. You plan to marry me after a weekend with another man? It made me realize what I had with you. She pleaded. Alan doesn't mean anything. It was stupid, and I'm so sorry. I nodded slowly. I appreciate your honesty, finally. But it doesn't change anything. I expect you to be gone by the end of the 30 days. She broke down completely then, sobbing that she couldn't afford a place on such short notice, that all her friends lived in small apartments with roommates, that she had nowhere to go. You should have thought of that before you decided to be treated how you deserve on a yacht with another man, I said, standing up. You've got 24 days left. Figure it out. As I headed for the door, she called out, please, can we try again? I made one mistake. 4 years together, and you're throwing it all away over one weekend? I turned back to her. No, Lisa. You threw it away. I'm just acknowledging what's already broken. I left her there crying and drove back to my brother's place, feeling strangely calm. The confrontation had gone exactly as I expected. She was sorry she got caught, not sorry she had betrayed me. The next 3 weeks were a constant barrage of attempts to win me back. She sent flowers to my office. She had her friends call me to plead her case. She even got her mother to reach out, a woman I had always had a good relationship with, who now tearfully asked me to give her daughter another chance. I remained firm. I didn't block Lisa's number, but I responded to her messages with brief, factual communications only, primarily about logistics regarding her moving out. I arranged to be away from the condo whenever she was there packing, usually having the building manager check in to ensure she wasn't damaging anything. 25 days after finding out about her betrayal, Lisa moved out. She had found a small studio apartment that a friend of a friend was subletting. On her final day, she left me a handwritten letter and a small box containing her engagement ring. The letter was pages long, full of apologies, memories of our good times, and promises to change. She wrote that she would wait for me, that she would earn back my trust, that she would do whatever it took. She ended it by saying she would always love me, and that she hoped one day I could forgive her. I read the letter once, then filed it away with all the evidence I had collected. The ring went into my safe. Maybe someday I would sell it, but for now, it was just another reminder of what had happened. With Lisa gone, I started the process of rebuilding my life. I redecorated the condo, removing all traces of her. I threw myself into work, earning a promotion within 2 months. I started going to the gym regularly and reconnected with friends I had neglected during my relationship. It's been 5 months since Lisa moved out, and 3 months since I've heard from her. I thought it was finally over, until yesterday. I was at a coffee shop near my office when someone sat down across from me. It was Lisa. She looked different, thinner, with shorter hair, wearing a conservative outfit I didn't recognize. 5 minutes, she said. Please. I should have gotten up and left. Instead, I nodded. I miss you, she started. Every day. I've been in therapy, working on myself, understanding why I did what I did. I sipped my coffee, saying nothing. I got a new job, she continued. I left the agency. I couldn't be around Alan anymore. It was a constant reminder of the worst mistake of my life. I raised an eyebrow but still didn't speak. I'm not asking you to take me back today, she said. I know I don't deserve that. But I'm asking for a chance to show you I've changed. Dinner, maybe? As friends? For a brief moment, I considered it. Despite everything, there had been good times. 4 years of memories, not all bad. But then I remembered the image of her on that yacht, in another man's arms, and the caption, finally being treated how I deserve. No, I said simply. I'm glad you're doing better, Lisa. I truly am. But we're done. Her face fell, but she nodded. I understand. But if you ever change your mind. She slid a business card across the table with her new contact information. I took the card, more out of politeness than interest, and watched as she walked away. Then I tore it in half and dropped it in my empty coffee cup. Maybe someday I'll be ready to date again. Maybe I'll even find someone who values honesty and commitment as much as I do. But for now, I'm focusing on myself, ironically, doing exactly what Lisa claimed she needed that fateful weekend. So that's my story. A betrayal, a calculated revenge that was really just consequences, and an aftermath I'm still navigating. If there's a lesson here, it's to trust your instincts and know your worth. When someone shows you who they really are, believe them the first time. Edit/update, 10 hours later, oh my gosh, this blew up. I didn't expect so many comments and messages. Thank you all for the support and awards. I'm trying to respond to as many comments as I can, but there are just too many. I'll try to answer some of the common questions here. 1. No, I will not be taking her back. Ever. That ship has sailed, hit an iceberg, and sunk to the bottom of the ocean. 2. Yes, I did tell her friends and family what happened. Not out of spite, but because they were all contacting me wondering why I suddenly ended things. I simply sent them the screenshots. Most of them were shocked and apologized for reaching out. 3. About Ryan, the coworker who sent me the evidence, we've actually become friends. He didn't feel right about what was happening and took a risk to let me know. He no longer works at the same agency either. Apparently, the work environment got toxic after word got around about what he did. He's at a better company now. 4. For those asking about Alan, from what Ryan told me, Lisa and Alan's relationship fizzled out within a couple of weeks after she moved out. Apparently, he wasn't interested in anything serious and was already pursuing someone else at the agency. 5. Legal questions. Yes, the eviction was legal. I consulted with a lawyer who specialized in tenant law. Since we weren't married, she had no claim to the property, and our cohabitation agreement, yes, we had one, always protect yourself, folks, clearly stated terms for dissolution of the living arrangement. 6. Was I too harsh? No. I don't think so. I didn't destroy her property, badmouth her to potential employers, or do anything vindictive. I simply removed myself from a relationship where I was betrayed and lied to. She had a roof over her head for 30 days to figure things out, which is more than some people get. 7. Did she know she was being recorded? The Instagram story was her own post to her close friends list. Ryan just screen recorded it because he knew she had blocked me from seeing it. She put it out there herself, thinking I would never see it. 8. Am I seeing anyone new? Not yet. I'm taking time for myself. When the right person comes along, I'll know. Thanks again for all the support. This community has been surprisingly therapeutic for me. I'll try to respond to more comments throughout the day. Edit 2. A lot of you have asked for more details about the actual weekend and how I found out about the yacht. Here's the timeline. Friday evening, Lisa leaves for her wellness retreat, blocks me across all platforms within an hour. Saturday morning, I notice I'm blocked, try calling and texting with no success. Saturday afternoon, I check our joint account and see a $1,200 charge to Blue Horizon Charters from that morning. Saturday evening, Ryan sends me the screen recording of Lisa's close friend's story. Saturday night, I do some digging, find Blue Horizon's website, see they operate yacht day trips and weekend charters out of the marina about 2 hours from our city. Sunday afternoon, I call Blue Horizon posing as someone interested in booking, casually ask about their most popular weekend package, find out it's an overnight stay on the yacht with a captain who takes you to a secluded cove. Sunday evening, Lisa returns with a tan and fabricated stories about her wellness retreat. So yes, I had pretty solid evidence that she was lying even before I confronted her. The yacht charter wasn't even the only expense, there were also charges at seafood restaurants in the marina town and a boutique that sells beachwear, probably where she got that new bikini. And for those asking why Ryan had access to her close friend's story if it was supposed to be private, apparently, Lisa added most of the office to her close friends list but forgot Ryan was there too. She wasn't exactly being careful. TLDR, fiancée lied about needing a personal retreat to find herself, actually went on a yacht weekend with another guy, posted about it thinking I'd never see it. I pretended not to know when she returned, gathered evidence, then kicked her out of my condo. 5 months later, she wants another chance. Not happening. Comments. You/trust issues forever. Perfect execution. Calm, calculated, and letting the consequences speak for themselves. You're a king, man. You/ain't going back. As someone who took back a cheater and regretted it, stand your ground. They never change. You/legal eagle 92. Lawyer here. You handled the eviction perfectly. So many people make mistakes in these situations that come back to haunt them. Good job protecting yourself legally. You/why the long face. Finally being treated how I deserve is the most telling part. She didn't think you treated her well enough, but instead of communicating that, she cheated. You dodged a bullet, my friend. You/seen it all before. The amount of people in the comments saying everyone makes mistakes is disturbing. This wasn't a mistake. It was a calculated series of lies and betrayal. Op is 100% justified. You/new beginnings 2023. Does anyone else love that he made her favorite dinner and pretended everything was fine? That's some cold, calculated revenge and I am here for it. You/have you considered therapy to process this? Even when you're in the right, betrayal can leave deep wounds that affect future relationships if not addressed. You/broken trust account. Op here, yes, I've been seeing a therapist for the past 3 months. It's been helpful. You/cheater detector 9000. Shout out to Ryan. That guy is a real one. Not many people would risk workplace drama to do the right thing. You/don't believe the hype. I call BS on her saying nothing happened with Alan. Nobody goes on a romantic yacht getaway and just kisses once. She's still minimizing what happened. You/single and loving it. Am I the only one who thinks that her showing up at the coffee shop wasn't a coincidence? She's definitely still keeping tabs on you. You/broken trust account. Op here, you might be right. The coffee shop is near my office, but not one I frequent regularly. Seems suspicious now that you mention it. You/red flag spotter. Finally being treated how I deserve equals I deserve to be taken on expensive trips by rich guys bullet. Dodged. You/divorced dad thrice. Your restraint is admirable. Most people would have exploded the moment she walked through the door. The fact that you kept your cool shows incredible emotional maturity. You/seen it all before. That moment when she came back ready to plan the wedding after her weekend away. The audacity. I can't even imagine how you kept a straight face. You/broken trust account. Op here, it was difficult. I almost broke character when she mentioned the solarium at the non-existent wellness center. But by that point, I was committed to seeing my plan through. You/grandma advice 101. As a 60-year-old woman who's seen it all, let me tell you, you made the right decision. Life is too short to spend it with someone who doesn't respect you. Proud of you, young man. You/moving on up now. This is why I have trust issues. Hope you're healing, Op. Not all of us are like Lisa. You/future reference. Anyone else dying to know if Alan knows he was just a pawn in her game to make Op jealous/appreciate her more? Or did he think they had something real? You/broken trust account. Op here, according to Ryan, Alan and Lisa had been flirting for months. Alan knew about me but didn't seem to care. From what I've heard, he's known for dating women from client companies. Professional ethics aren't his strong suit, apparently. You/chump of the year. I need more friends like Ryan in my life. That's a true bro move. You/toxic relationships. The fact that she thought she could come back from this shows how delusional cheaters are. They really think their partners are just possessions they can discard and reclaim at will. You/self-worth 1000. When someone shows you who they really are, believe them the first time. Maya Angelou. Truer words never spoken. Glad you listened the first time. Up.